all over, that I let go of the control, I shared with my husband that I needed help. I turned it over to God. And I went to the 12-step program and began to face my demons. And once I did this, let go of the things that I couldn't control, I let go of that perfectionism that I always tried to attain. I stayed present and stopped worrying about my past and my future that keeps us so stuck. And I was able to respond instead of react. Imagine responding to life, the people in your life, the situations in your life, instead of reacting. And this strengthens the relationships with ourselves and the people in our lives. So many of us, though, suffer with the illusion that if we do this, if we let go, if we release control, that we are weak, that we are vulnerable. But it is truly the strongest step that you can make. We are not being strong by keeping those walls up, by trying to control everything. It is when we let go and we are vulnerable that we take the chains of our past and move towards a better life and self-love. And it's important to remember that this is a personal journey. Everyone's path is going to look different. Every one of you is going to have a different path. But have patience and compassion for yourself and throughout this process. I'm Marcy Hopkins, and I'm the host and creator of Wake Up with Marcy, the author of Chaos to Clarity, Seeing the Signs and Breaking the Cycles, a motivational speaker, a mental health and recovery advocate. And I have these things because I let it go, went within, and found clarity of my mission in life. And I want to ask you, are you ready to live your mission in peace and in joy? If you're ready, let's continue this journey together. I have moved from the chaos of my old life, and I now live in the clarity of a beautiful, abundant life filled with love and gratitude and peace. Imagine living in that. I have the confidence and trust today that I can pursue whatever it is I want in this life. I didn't believe that before. And there are 6 more steps to letting go. And if you would like me to send all of them to you, please text me at 201-230-9576. Again, that number, 201-230-9576. Say, I'm ready to let go, and give me your name, and I will get everything over to you. Don't wait anymore. Learn to let go so you can pursue the life that you are meant to live. And I will leave you with this. As Wayne Dyer says, the art of letting go is a practice. It is about the small things. It's not the big life-changing moments. It's also about those small everyday choices we make to release the grip on what we cannot control and focus on the ones we can. It is time for you to feel alive and thrive in 2025, and I invite you to surrender to the mystery and the journey. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Yes,
Great job,
yes,
Marcy.
yes.
Fantastic. I love that you, and I think that anybody that wants to really needs to make sure they get the 6 more things. That's a talented speaker right there to give us all that information in 10 minutes. And also then to have some more stuff left on the table for us to learn about. So make sure, what's the best way for people to get the other 6 and reach out to you? Is it that number on the screen?
Yes, that would be great. If you guys can text me, and if you're more comfortable emailing me, it's wakeupwithmarcy@gmail.com. But I would love to hear from you.
Absolutely. And listen, no excuses, you guys. So only text that number if you're ready to let go. That's why she said you got to put in there, I'm ready to let go. If you're ready to let go.
And she doesn't make excuses. I met her in Florida with Terrence at a 10X event. She came to our event. She took our class. She participates in everything we have. She's part of the advanced speaker course, and she's rocking and rolling with what she wants.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm definitely having to put in the effort, and this is a vision that I know that is the next huge step in my life, and I'm willing to do whatever I need to do. So, and I'm so grateful to have people like you that can help me to do that.
Well, all of us are here for you.
Thank
Yes,
you.
Yes, and
Good
thank
job.
you. Thank
Really
you
good job.
for investing in yourself, and thank you for in giving to us and to our listeners so that they can be alive and thrive in 2025. Last time, go on to that number, text 201-230-9576 and say, I'm ready to let go. And Marcy will get back to you and give you the other 6 keys to being able to let go. You know, we would have Anthony sing the song, but you know, he only gets paid in advance.
Let it go. We don't give a. Oh, never mind. That's wrong.
And on that note, thank you so much, Marcy. Enjoy your holidays, and we look forward to seeing you more in 2025. Okay.
Look forward to it. Bye, guys.
Later.
All right. That is Marcy Hopkins, the host of Wake Up with Marcy. You can also check out all the other things she's doing on her website. Go to wakeupwithmarcy.com. Putting up some of the comments. They loved what Marcy had to say. Brenda, if you want to just drop those other comments up there as we get ready for our next speaker that we know that is in the back. And No Limit Living, ready. Yes, they are ready to let go. Yes, yes, yes. All right, so we're going to keep this train moving. Anthony, you know a little bit about our next speaker that's coming up on the show. So why don't you tell us a little bit more of what they can expect next?
Yeah, we've got our next speaker is going to be Royal Kai. He's an author, inspirational speaker, empowerment coach, and an NDE survivor who once served as a fearless federal firefighter. His life changed after a near-death experience. If you were wondering what NDE was, which I was earlier, near-death experience led him to uncover profound resilience and purpose. Now he channels his journey of trauma, healing, and faith to empower others, helping them tap into their unique mission and unlock their potential. With a blend of grit and heart-centered wisdom, Royal Kai guides audiences towards true self-mastery and divine purpose. So without further ado, introducing to the stage, Royal Kai.
What's up, everybody? Aloha. It's good to see you all. Brenda, Terrence, Anthony.
How are you, Royal Kai?
I'm currently in Utah with family, so yeah.
All right. Well, we are glad you took some time out from your family to bless our family with your words of wisdom so that they can be alive and thrive in 2025. So without further ado, the stage is yours. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Royal Kai.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Before I get into anything that I'm going to say, I would just welcome you to take a couple deep breaths with me, to be present. There's no other place to be. There's no other place to go. Just to ground for a moment and for a second with me. Just 2 simple breaths. Just to drop into this space and be here with ourselves now. In a world that is so fast-paced, that is constantly going, I find it maybe difficult at times, maybe that you have experienced it as well, to drop in and just to really be present. I was consistently going for years and years, and it wasn't until I had my near-death experience where I was able to truly surrender, what Marcy was talking about, just being able to surrender and understand, what do I want in life? Why am I running? How come I don't understand how my physiology and my psychology works? And so this information that I'm going to share with you, there's 3 key takeaways that I would like to be able to share with you. One of them is tapping into your subconscious mind. All right. We talk about the subconscious and it runs 95% of everything that you're doing. And yet, how do you truly tap into the subconscious mind? If it's running 95% of your program, how do you tap into it? How do you change the program? So that's one of the things that I'm going to share with you. 2, regulation and performance optimization. This is the stuff that I learned and how I was able to rapidly heal. I baffled doctors with this information that I found from mentors and what God showed me and he taught me. And then number 3, energy dynamics and positive mental programming. And so the question is, are you ready to thrive? Are you ready to finally feel alive? Because to feel alive, we actually have to accept exactly where we are. As a society, we're a cognitive performance-based society. And it tells us, hey, you keep on doing and keep on performing and keep on doing this and follow the program and you're going to feel great. Keep on consuming more. And yet, look at our world. Look at how disconnected we are. Look at how distracted people are. Look at how discouraged and depressed people are. Materialism isn't the answer. The answer is tapping into our hearts and understanding that God, creator, universe, has a plan for our lives that's far beyond, that's so divine. And once we surrender to that, we start to understand our place and our blueprint and our role. So what is the subconscious? A lot of people don't know this. It took me tens of thousands of hours and understanding and money to understand what is the subconscious mind. Everybody's talking about the subconscious mind, but what is it really? And it's the body. The body keeps the score. Everything that we experience, all of our feelings, all of our emotions get stored into the body. All right. So once we ask, what is the body? Well, what is the language of the body? It's the nervous system. And what is the language of the nervous system? It's emotion. Once we can tap into our emotions, that is where the magic happens. So if people are wanting to be alive and thrive, you have to understand where your emotions are at. You have to take a snapshot of your life and understand, okay, this is where I'm at. Instead of resisting it, because what we resist persists and what we conceal takes the will. Just mere affirmations or being positive isn't going to change it until we actually accept where we are, what we're feeling, and not having that resistance. Then we can move forward. But we're creating this energy dynamic that we're fighting against it. We're saying, well, I'm not here, or I'm not this, or I don't feel like this. When in reality, we need to accept right exactly where we're at. When I woke up in the hospital from my near-death experience, that was my fault because I was drinking and driving, because I had PTSD, because I didn't understand how to regulate. And nobody taught me as a man in our society how to feel my feelings, how to feel my emotions. And perhaps like many of you, as men or women, we haven't been taught healthy coping mechanisms and how we operate. And so it's the emotion, it's the energy that's in motion. So that's how we tap into the subconscious mind. There's the two most important times of the day to tap into the subconscious mind. I learned from one of my mentors. When we're right when we're waking up and right when we're going to sleep, because we are dropping into a theta state brainwave activity. The beta brainwave state is what a normal cognitive thinking right now is. And being able to drop into a theta state, we get past the gatekeeper. We tap into the subconscious, into the body, and that's where we can inject the programming and we can really begin to change our lives rapidly. I would encourage you, when you're going to sleep, start asking yourself questions, because questions elicit responses. If we have no sandbox to play in, our consciousness is everywhere. So we have to have very poignant questions to focus our energy and our emotion. So we ask ourselves, what would it feel like if I truly loved myself? What would it feel like if I was able to accept where I'm at and just love myself? What would it feel like if I had $100,000 in the bank? What would it feel like? And then we fall asleep with that emotion and we're waking up in that energy. Because if we go to bed in a certain energy and we're grumpy and we're angry, more than likely the next day we're going to wake up in that same energy. We have to break the pattern. We have to say, I must be more. I demand more. I'm not going to live like this. Because how long have we been programmed to continue doing what we're doing based on society's expectations and cultural engineering and programming? If not when, if not now, then when? And if it's not us, then who? No one's coming to save us. And so regulation and performance optimization really comes down to a couple of key takeaways. I call it PMP, positive mental programming. Positive mental program. We have to focus on positivity. We have to focus on things that are beneficial in our life. Negativity, being in judgment or criticism based on the law of energy and attraction, you're actually attracting more of that because you're judging it, because you're criticizing it. And until you dissipate that energetic connection, you're going to stay stuck. You're going to stay compartmentalized into that. So you have to understand, what is the perspective upon which I'm viewing myself in the world? Because no matter where you go, it doesn't matter how much money you have in the bank. It doesn't matter what job you have. It doesn't matter what partner you have. It doesn't matter if you're in the most beautiful paradise, because wherever you go, that's where you'll be. And that's where your mind and awareness will be as well. And so we have to be able to implement these keys and these processes. Positive mental programming. Then there's another one, TUT, not like King Tut, but TUT. TUT, time under tension. It's going to take decisive action and a focus, a vector, a plan to be able to move towards. It's not going to be easy, but you know what? Staying in the same spot your entire life, staying disempowered, staying depressed, staying full of anxiety, that's difficult as well. So you have to choose your level of difficulty. Are you going to choose difficulty with the reward or difficulty with decay? Because you are the only one that can come and save your life. There's nobody else that's going to do it. So we have to accept responsibility and accountability. When I woke up in the hospital, I destroyed my life. And it was all my fault. I went through bankruptcy and divorce and lost my job. I had a $500,000 medical bill and I lost everything. I had to start over from ground zero. So if you're in a difficult place, I understand difficult places. And these are tried and true principles that I teach my clients, because how do we get from point A to point B without taking a decade? We bridge the gap. I help you bridge the gap so that you can live more empowered and get ready to really, truly be alive and thrive this year in 2025. And then energy dynamics. Everything is energy. Energy and motion stays in motion. But if you've been stagnant in a certain area of your life, it's going to require more energy and more input so that you can receive a correct output. But if you're putting garbage in, you're going to get garbage out. So you have to begin to start loving yourself and having compassion for yourself so that you can change your life and say, you know what? I deserve more. I demand more. I demand that I have a better life, because it only takes one day to set up the program. It only takes one good day to build the energy and the momentum. And I can guarantee you, if you make the choice, if you say, I can do this, other people have done it, I'm not unique, you can do it as well. My name is Royal Kai, author of The Miracle Man. You can check out the book. These principles were just endorsed by a 40-year board certified psychiatrist that has been seeing patients for 40 years. And she's teaching these principles to her patients from my book and the things that I've been able to learn. It's amazing. And I want to help you out so you can truly thrive in 2025 and understand how to regulate, because physiology follows psychology and psychology follows physiology. It's an inverse relationship. And there's the timer. So I have 2 free PDFs for you. You can reach out to me on my website or text me. I'll get them to you so that you can do your life and energy audit and understand exactly, hey, where am I at? This is the snapshot of where I am, and this is where I want to go. And then also your avatar, creating your avatar, how to view yourself in a more empowered sense. And those are the things that I want to share with you. Everybody, you can have a fantastic year if you truly decide that you want to have a fantastic year, but it starts with one choice, one decision, one miracle. The quantum leap is you finally making a decision to change your life and saying, I will not accept this anymore, changing your perception and making a decisive action and stepping into a new reality. That's the quantum leap. That's the miracle. You finally deciding to change your life, and enough is enough, and I will not tolerate this anymore. I deserve more. I know I'm more. I'm a child of God, and the universe and God has our backs, because miracles are real, God's are real, and we're truly only one miracle away from living our best life. Thanks for having me on. Aloha, everybody. And man, I just get pumped up. I love sharing all this stuff, man. I love it.
And you do it well. Dude, give it up for Royal Kai. Absolutely You know, I want to touch on what you just said at the very end. You talked about taking that step and making decisive action. You know, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with that first step. And
Yeah.
you're encouraging us to take not just a step, but a decisive step. I talk about a lot of defining moment leading to an unstoppable decision. And that's where the miracle happens, when you take that defining moment and you turn it into a decisive action. So thank you for sharing that with us. But you told us there's a place where we can get more information, but Royal, tell us where that place is, where they can get more of that information from you and follow what you're doing in 2025.
Yeah, so you can go to my website, miraclemanjourney.com. You can send me an email. You can reach out to me through my phone there. You can also go to the Royal Kai or Royal Kai Aurelius Funk on Facebook. And I'm going to be posting, more stuff to be able to help people. As I've been traveling this year, one thing that I'd love to share quickly, when I talk to people, wherever I'm traveling, they're like, "Oh, what do you do?" And I tell them, but I say, you know what, as a man, I haven't been allowed to feel my feelings or emotions. And everybody's like, "That's so true, man. That's so honest." And so part of the mission is to really let men know it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to feel your feelings and emotions. And it's okay to be a strong, masculine male that's protecting your life, your family's lives, and our community. It's okay. It's needed in our world, because evil thrives when good men and women sit on the sidelines and do nothing.
Wow. Okay. I'm gonna give you credit for that one 3 times, and then that's gonna say that one more time, because I think that's a message someone needs to hear today.
Yeah. Well, the message of evil thrives when good men and women sit on the sidelines and do nothing, and just they're this is the thing. If we give other people power over us, they become our God, and we're disconnecting ourselves from our truest source and God, because we care more about their perceptions and opinions than our unique divine mission here and what God has sent us here to do.
Well said. Really well said.
Yes. And we're the hosts, but we're also taking these notes too. We're getting edified, and we're getting the education from speakers.
Right
just
along
like
with
we say,
collaboration.
yes, we say life is not a spectator sport, and you just hit it on the head. Too many people sit on the sidelines, and that's when the devil is able to take control. So get out there, take that first step, make that decisive action. And one of the actions you guys need to take is follow Royal Kai, going over to miraclemanjourney.com, see everything that he's doing so that he can help you be alive and thrive in 2025. Happy holidays to you, my friend. Look forward to working more with you in 2025.
Aloha.
All right. That was Royal Kai Funk, going over to his website, miraclemanjourney.com. What I love about these events, and we've done a lot over the course of the years, we get people from all walks, all styles, all different types of perspectives, and they all come together and give a common theme. And many people say there's more that unites us than divides us. Would you guys agree with that statement and the bevy of speakers we've had today?
100%. Absolutely.
All right. Okay, so we're not done. Again, we're going to continue with our next speaker, and this guy is part of our BTBY family too, and Brenda just loves him to death. So Brenda, why don't you tell us about our next speaker?
Oh man, our next speaker is Andy Nam. He is a certified coach, but he does it a little differently. He does functional nutrition and longevity. He took his own health in his hands because he knew he needed to make a change, and he is the founder of Chronically Healthy Lifestyle. Bring up Andy.
Welcome to the stage, Andy Nam. Hi, Andy. How are you?
Oh, unmute.
We mute your speaker from your end. We see you.
We'll get you
there. We would love to hear you. Okay, well then we will just vamp a minute. How about we just do a quick commercial while he's trying to get that underway? Perfect. Again, you guys, all these great speakers, they started from somewhere, just like us. We didn't know anything. Speaking is natural. Being a speaker is a learned habit that you have to take over many, many years with the right people. So why not join us? Join us, become the best speaker, become the better speaker, become the better communicator, and then you too will be able to share these stages and grace stages all across the world. Join us for our next classes coming up, and here's a little bit of information, and then we'll be right back with Alive and Thrive in 2025.
Right? How was that commercial, Anthony?
That
You
was
need to
pretty
give
good.
give yours class a plug.
All right. Well, if you want my commercial, so obviously I've worked with Terrence and Brenda. They do a great job coaching speakers, as you can see, of all the talent that has been up here today. My speaking class is very similar. I know we set up a very similar situation. It is an 8-week class, but I don't really even care to tell you about that. I would love you to learn a little bit more about what I do by just going to my free webinar, my free workshop, actually, doubledownspeaking.com. I do Wednesdays. I call it Toastmasters on steroids. I'm shifting around a little bit of my speaking stuff, but that's going to be kind of the teaser for the way that I work with my students. So come to a free class Wednesday night, 6 p.m. Central. Every Wednesday, probably not doing Christmas or New Year's, but after that, back in the New Year's, come and join me. We've got a great crew there. And yeah, it's a little fun. We give quotes. It's interactive. Just go to doubledownspeaking.com. That's it.
Toastmasters on steroids. Yeah, I got a chance to drop in on one of those Wednesday classes, and that is a true testament to what you are doing. And I appreciate
he's helped me a lot, because I used to, and I just talked to Marcy about this. Marcy has a lot of the tendencies I had with speaking like this sometimes.
Well, at least you
Come
leaned
again?
in
What?
when you whispered.
He was always on me about it. So thank you, Anthony.
Right. And, at first I thought it was a 976 number, but that, that was just my other life.
You know how I know your old parents is, that it's a 9-7, but most people would say a 1-900 number. You're going even further back to 976 number. Do you have your walker sitting next to you as well?
Yes, and she is very good. So, but that's another conversation. But no matter where you are, no matter what age you are, what walk of life, you can always become a better speaker. And if this screenshot doesn't show you, we've got 50s and 40s, and we've had some 30s and some 20s on this call today. No matter where you are, you can still become a better speaker. So if it's doubledownspeaking.com, go there. If it's btbspeaker.com, go there. But just like Royal Kai said, take a step and make a massive decision.
Let me real quick say one other thing about speaking in general. So some of the things you're noticing with people sharing and creating change in all the different lives that they target, the people that they're affecting, is speaking is above and beyond just affecting how you present yourself to the world in terms of your topic, but it also gets you over self-limiting beliefs. So whether you're taking Terrence and Brenda's class or you take mine, whatever it is, Carolyn, who's in the comments right now, said it perfectly in one of my first ever classes, which getting better at using your voice and being more confident in the ability to show up gets you past every self-limiting belief that you have. It's a progression, it's practice, it's work, and it's something that won't just change how you present yourself on stage, but it'll help you how you present yourself in relationships. It'll help yourself how you present yourself at work, and it'll help yourself how you present yourself in all interpersonal communication. And communication is key to becoming the better you.
Absolutely.
Look.
There's something else you guys both did for me, and Kevin. I didn't hide behind my story. I was always very vocal about my story, but you guys taught me to use my story. And there's a difference.
Yeah.
There is a difference. So if you want to know more about that, I guess you could take somebody's class.
Yeah, and you can see how she actually crafted that story so that it's a story that doesn't bring you down, it actually lifts you up. And I think that's one of the fears that we find out with a lot of our people that come through our courses at Anthony. I don't know if you found that to be the same in your course as well, that people are fearful of the impact of their story. Some think it has no impact, others think it's too impactful for anyone to hear. But here's the one thing we know: you don't have to be the best speaker to get into better situations. You just have to be a better speaker.
Yeah.
And then better situations will open up, better opportunities will open up. And then you too will be able to say what we say: becoming the better speaker is the best thing that we've ever done. All right. Thank you so much. Go on over to doubledownspeaking.com or again, btbspeaker.com. We both have our classes starting up again in 2025. So you have the opportunity to get in where you fit in. And speaking of getting in where we fit in, let's start over again. Let's see if we can get Andy Nam back on the stage. Andy. Oh,
Hold on. Let me talk you through this, Andy. Do you have give me a nod, yes or no? Make this super quick. Do you have headphones in? No headphones? All right. I need you to go to if you see settings on the bottom, you'll see settings, and then there'll be camera and audio. Go to audio real fast, and then on the audio, go ahead and make sure your mic is your computer mic or whatever your computer.
Okay, can you guys hear me now?
Perfect.
that's another reason why you need to go to doubledownspeaking.com. He will talk.
This never happens. This never happens. I'm so sorry, people.
You're fine.
Yes. Technology is, we also talk about the business of speaking, and this is what this is right now. You just got a real life example of sometimes even the best speaker won't be heard if technology isn't working. So thank you so much for that. And that's why Anthony's part of our tribe, you know. But welcome back to the stage is Andy Nam, Chronically Healthy Life. You've got a great message for us on health and wellness today. So the stage is yours.
Hey everyone, it's Andy Nam, and moving in forward for the year, I love everyone to be thriving and of course to be alive, to be able to take life in the reins and moving forward to improve, to become the best version of yourself. And it all starts with your health, right? I really believe health is your wealth, and if you don't got your health, it really doesn't matter how much money you're making or how well your business is doing or even how your relationships are. And really in this last year I've seen so many chronic conditions developing over the last few years, like high blood pressure, all the markers, like even the big C. And what I really want to do is I want to help all of you out there moving forward for the new year. I'm going to be giving you three basic tips that hopefully will help you be thriving and be feeling alive. And the first thing is everything in the body is caused by stress. This may be obvious for most people, but stress comes in so many ways. And the first way that most people don't realize is stress is what is going on in your mind, right? Everyone's working harder right now. Everyone is so stressed at work. Maybe they're having problems meeting targets at work. Maybe they're not making goals, or maybe they're not even making enough money, or stressing about what they're going to be giving their kids for Christmas presents. All the stress in your mind does affect your body. So one of the things that I really want to share with people going on to the new year is, if you want to improve your health, if you want to improve your business, like we got so many coaches here to help you improve every aspect of your life, take this in. Relax to go faster. I think a lot of us is go, 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 go. What we need to do is chill out. And guess what? Things are just going to move smoother for you. So relax to go faster. Now, moving on to the tips. the first thing I love everyone to think about is you need to forget everything that you learned so far, especially with all these great tips that's coming on with all these coaches and speakers here. Is, you have a calendar, a calculator. You know how you can clear the calculator. So what I want you to do is reset that calculator and clear your mind. And I think that's very important because you really have to have a clear mindset to absorb all these tips and all these wisdom that everyone is giving you. So before we start, let's reset that calculator. Let's clear your mind. Tip number one I like to share with everyone is belief system. Everyone has a belief system, and it doesn't matter. I'm not specifically talking about religion. I'm actually talking about belief in yourself. And I'm sure some of the other speakers were talking about this, but this is so important when it comes to your health, because the negative thoughts that we keep telling ourselves, we can't do this, I can't run a mile, I can't lose 10 pounds. It's very important you reframe all that to positive thoughts, right? Because the more negative you bring into your mind, the more those things is going to be coming into your health. Not only are you not going to be able to run that mile, you're probably going to have health conditions that's going to prevent you from running that mile. So I believe that what you believe in, you bring about, right? So if you're looking at getting a healthier mind, start thinking healthier thoughts like, I'm going to be vibrant, I'm going to be able to run a mile, I'm going to have abundance of energy for 2025. That'll be a good start. Or maybe I'm just going to be getting up and waking up, bouncing out of bed, whatever it may be. Start thinking positive. I think that has great influence on how your body works, right? So you want to always be thinking positive. I know a lot of negative things happen, but there are a lot of positive things that happen out of negative things. Always be looking for the positive. The second thing I like people to be more aware of coming into a new year is be aware of what you're putting inside your body. It doesn't matter what diet you're on. You could be on the paleo diet, you're on a keto diet, you can be vegan, you can be vegetarian. Everything has its merits. But a lot of those things, they still have a lot of toxins that are unknown chemicals and stuff like that. Be aware of what you're putting in your mouth, what's actually included in that food. I always recommend to eat as whole as possible, but even that whole food, depending on the source, where it's grown, how it's raised, guess what? You can be getting some added chemicals on the side, which can be causing a lot of problems and disease in your body. So stop doing what everyone else is doing, because we're all about individuals. Just because that vegan diet is working for them may not work for you. So listen to your body, be aware of what you're putting inside your body. I think that's And the last one, making sure to get all the commercials in. The last one here is, this one's quite important, is choose the people who you hang out with. This one's really important. You always want to be around people that has similar mindset with you. If you want to up level your finances, hang around people that is helping people that are making more money than you. If you want to hang out, you want to be more healthy, hang out with people that are healthier than you. See what they're doing, learn from them, and hang out from them. Get their healthy habits, get their financial habits. All this is very important when it comes to your health and, of course, your wealth. As all these speakers out here, as all of us here as coaches, all we can do is open the door for you, and you need to decide to walk through that door. Right. So I think that remember these 3 steps. Your belief system, believe you can do it, believe you can be healthy. Second is be aware of what you're putting in your body, be aware of what you're putting in your mind. And the last is be around people that's going to uplift you, that's going to support you for the new year. And of course, my name's Andy Nam. I am a certified life coach specializing in functional nutrition and longevity. If you are looking for tips and tricks to become healthier, if things haven't worked out for you for the last few years and you need help to up-level your health, up-level your life, reach out to me. You can reach out to me at chronicallyhealthylife.com. I have a TV show, Chronic Healthy Life, every Friday that gives tips on this, so you can follow us there, set up a county call. I would love to speak with all of you to map out your success for the coming year. And
Andy, yes. One of the things you didn't know that we were in the background actually adding some things on to your presentation. So, the other part of the healthy life is dancing unexpectedly. So that's what happens.
He asked me to load a commercial and I hit the wrong button. So that's what you get for putting me in charge, Terrence.
Yeah. She's the visionary, not the implementator. Okay.
That's right.
So Andy, we appreciate you, what you've always been doing with us and on the health and wellness field. One thing that you think can allow our audience to today start thriving as they go into 2025?
I think the first thing that we can do to thrive for 2025 is maybe just change one new habit that you haven't tried yet. It may be uncomfortable, right? Because there's always something that we want to try that we haven't done yet, right? Maybe it's intermittent fasting. Maybe it is just cutting some sugar, right? We all know what we need to do, but I think a lot of people don't actually take that first step to do it because they think it's too hard.
Gotcha. Well, we are glad that you are here to help us take these first steps on our health and wellness journey. You guys, you can reach out to Andy at chronicallyhealthylife.com. He'll also have information on there about his show that he does with his lovely wife. And you too can take the first step to, you're alive. Why not thrive with your health and wellness in 2025? Thank you so much, Andy. We look forward to seeing you on the other side, okay?
Thank you.
All right. That was Andy Nam. Go ahead, check him out. Go to his website, chronicallyhealthylife.com. You can get more information on your health and wellness journey. Yes. And it's one of the 4 pillars that we talk about, guys. We talk about health and wellness. We talk about financial health. We talk about personal and professional development. And we talk about service. And what I'd like to say we're doing today is we're providing a service so that people can really tap into those other 3 pillars as they move into 2025. Would you agree? Would you guys agree with that statement?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Being a man of few words and carrying a big stick. I love it.
Well, the key
All right.
when you're speaking, the impact was you were right. So I was just keeping it short. Sometimes it's not about the amount of words. It's about the power of words. And the power of words there was to fully agree with you, Terrence, because you said it so well. And we're behind on time. So I think that's as well.
And since we piqued your interest with this great commercial that was happening during Andy's presentation, why don't we give you the full blast of that commercial? It's one of the things we do here at BTBY. We want to let you know what's coming up for us in 2025. You're watching Alive and Thrive in 2025. We'll be right back. Absolutely. If you are ready to figure out how you can be alive and thrive in 2025, then come on over to comechangeyourlife.com. You will not regret it. So let's move forward into the rest of the Alive and Thrive show. Hopefully, you guys are having a good time. You are still taking copious notes and you are still commenting on the great speakers that we have so far. And we've got another one that's about to give us his take on how you can get introduced to yourself and thrive in 2025. Anthony, who's our next speaker?
We got Sakoni Prince coming up. He is a highly sought after motivational speaker, award-winning Amazon best-selling author, and personal development strategist that provides people with proven strategies to become a better version of themselves. His groundbreaking approach helps corporations, small businesses, youth groups, and individuals maximize their potential by taking an objective look at themselves to understand their unique gifts and talents and how to leverage them to get the most out of life. Sakoni believes that if we take a non-threatening look at ourselves, we'll discover that, like Les Brown says, we have greatness within us. And once we acknowledge that greatness, then we have a responsibility to bring that greatness out. Ladies and gentlemen, Sakoni Prince.
Hello, everybody. How you doing today? This is Sakoni Prince of SakoniPrince.com, where we make motivation personal by introducing you to yourself. And I want to invite you to be a part of the Becoming a Better You leadership training, facilitated by yours truly, Sakoni Prince. In this training, we're going to cover 3 major areas in leadership. Number 1 is effective leadership. Number 2, transformational leadership. And number 3, emotional intelligence. So I'm telling you, you want to sign up for this leadership training. And you can do so by going to the link that's shown on the screen right here. This leadership training is going to help you become a better version of yourself when it comes to being a leader. You're going to learn how to effectively lead a group of people. You're also going to learn how to transform them with transformational leadership. And one of the most key components of all this is understanding emotional intelligence. So listen, this training is going to start in February of 2025. And you can find out more information by, again, going to the link, and you can see the dates and sign up. And listen, I look forward to seeing you in this training, and I'm telling you, it's going to be one that's going to change your life. And listen, we'll talk to you later. Bye. Hello, everybody. How you doing today? This is Sakoni Prince of SakoniPrince.com, where we make motivation personal by introducing you to yourself. And I am super excited to share with you in this BTBY virtual event. And I know that 2024 has been a challenging year for us one way or another. Whether it's been in our finances, whether it's been in our relationships, whether it's been in our health, or even with our careers. We've all faced some kind of challenges. But what I wanted us to know going into 2025 is that trees grow in the winter. I'm going to say that again for those that are taking notes. Trees grow in the winter. Now, I know when I say that, a lot of you are wondering, what do you mean? Most of the time during the winter, you see the leaves fall from the trees and they look almost dead. Well, and that is true. In the wintertime, they don't have leaves on them. They look stripped. They look like sticks just shooting up in the sky. But what you don't see is what's happening underground. Because there's less moisture and because it's not as warm as it would be during the summertime or the springtime, what we get is that the trees their roots have to dig deeper. They have to actually go further into the ground. Now, what happens in the springtime and in the summer, we see the results of what happened in the winter. Now, most of the people say that trees, they actually grow, or some people say that they bloom in the spring and summer, and they do. They do bloom, but the growth occurs in the winter when there's not really that much resources available to them. So why am I talking about trees? Because during 2024, a lot of us have been in situations where we didn't have a lot of resources. There was not a lot of warmth. There was not a lot of water. There was not a lot of fertilizer to keep us, well, maybe there could have been too much fertilizer, but that's a whole other subject. But to actually allow us the chance to grow. So we had to dig deep. We had to allow our roots to go deeper to pull in more nutrients. We started to evaluate the relationships we were in and the people that we spent time with. We started to look at the things that we were doing to better ourselves and how we could make ourselves even that much better in the coming year. We've done a lot of soul searching. We trying to figure out what's the best way to navigate and move in these unchanging times. We really started to evaluate how much energy we put into a particular situation or circumstance or even a relationship. We started to let our roots dig deep. A lot of us spend time even spiritually connecting with ourselves and understanding who God made us to be, getting focused on our mission and not just a little breakthrough. I posted this the other day. I said, breakthrough changes your position, but not your mission. Again, for those that are taking notes, a breakthrough changes your position, but not your mission. And the reason that I post that is because a lot of people think, well, okay, I've had this breakthrough, and that's great, and that's good, but don't stop. Just because you've gotten a breakthrough, just because you've gotten a revelation, just because you've gotten an understanding, don't stop there. There's more for you to do. So breakthrough may change your position. On one side, you were in front of the breakthrough. But on the other side, you came through, you broke through. And that's great. But don't stop. And that's what we're talking about, even with the trees and the roots. Once they've gotten in the soil, they don't stop going down. They don't stop growing. And that's what we need to learn how to do. If we're going to be alive and ready to thrive in 2025, we have to be willing to put in that level of work, that level of growth. And I tell you, growth ain't sexy. It's not sexy. Sure. When you bloom in the spring and in the summertime, that's sexy. You got all of the leaves, you're all green, your flowers or your fruit is coming out. Everything is wonderful and great, and that's fine. But in the wintertime, you look a mess. People wonder if you're still alive. They wonder, are you going to make it? They wonder, what's going on? And see, of course we have seasons. We know when it's winter and when it's spring and when it's summer and fall. But in our lives, somebody may be in their spring, but you're in your winter. And you're trying to figure out, am I dead? Is it over? Do I stop? Do I quit? Do I throw in the towel? Or do I dig deeper? Because I have a mission. I have something I have to do. I have a calling that I have to live up to. I have a God-given purpose that I am required to accomplish and fulfill. And even though people may not be singing my praises, they may not be calling my name, they may not be clapping when I walk in the room, I still have a purpose. I still have something that I'm supposed to do. And because of that, I'm going to have to grow during my winter, during my hard times, during the times when I want to give up and I want to quit, during the times when it don't look pretty, when everything looks ugly and dried out. I have to dig deep. I have to make sure that I know why I'm here and what I'm doing. Because hard times will come. Winter will come. You will be without resources. You will be without warmth, without necessities. But that's all designed to make you dig deeper, so that when the time comes, you are ready to grow. You are ready to shine and to come forth. You are ready to have the fruit that's needed to help sustain those around you. Dr. Miles Monroe said the fruit isn't for the tree. And even you going through what you're going through, it's going to benefit you. True enough, you're going to be known by the fruit that you bear. But it benefits the people around you. All the information that God has allowed me to obtain and to actually take in, it's not just for me. It's for me to share, it's for me to put out there. It's my fruit. But I realize that there are people who are going through winters. They're going through hard times. They need some encouragement. They need some motivation. They need to understand that if I just keep going, I can make it. And not only can I make it, I can make a difference for somebody else. So I want to encourage you, if you haven't done so already, take the time to step back, to even unplug, to make sure that you understand what it is you've been called to do, what it is you've been called to accomplish. Maybe you didn't get it done in 2024. Maybe there were too many obstacles, too many challenges. Maybe too many things went wrong. But that wasn't meant to stop you. It was meant to develop you. So I want you to know that there is somebody waiting for you to show up. There's somebody is waiting for your fruit from your tree. But they'll never get it if you give up during winter. If you stop growing. If your roots have nowhere to go, yeah, you will eventually die. But you can make it a point and be intentional about your growth, about your pursuit of your purpose. Be intentional. Because that level of intentionality is what makes you who you are. It's what allows you to have the triumph that you are so deserving of. But that only comes after you put in the work, after you've grown, after your roots have gone deeper, after you've gotten greater understanding and wisdom and knowledge, after you've come through some battles, have some scars. That's when you can truly celebrate. If somebody gave you the victory, just here it is here, you wouldn't appreciate it as much. But if there was a part you had to play in it, if there was something you had to do, if there was someone you had to become, to be that fruit bearer, to be that person, well, you would definitely put in that work. But you will also be able to celebrate knowing that, hey, I put in the work. I let my roots grow deeper. So when the fruit comes, yes, I'm proud of it. I'm proud of what I've been able to accomplish. And I must say this, and it's all by the grace of God. But I think so many people expect God to do everything and they do nothing. That's not the way He set it up. We are to partner with Him. There's a part we have to do. He's going to do His part. And I have a little secret for you. He'll help you do yours. But He's not going to do it for you. So I want to encourage you today. Let your roots grow deeper. Even in the winter. So that in 2025, when you are alive and ready to thrive, you can, with a smile on your face, even though you had to go through the winter of your change, you are able to blossom and to bloom. Hey, look, this is Sakoni Prince of SakoniPrince.com, providing you with some encouragement and some motivation for you to arrive alive and ready in 2025. Hey, listen, I want to ask you that you would actually, if you haven't done so already, go over to ComeChangeYourLife.com and become a part of the BTBY group, because you will find what you need in that group to grow and to become a better version of yourself. And listen, we'll talk to you later. God bless. Bye.
Yes, yes, yes. We love our great teacher, Sakoni Prince. He always drops some knowledge on your trees. Grow in the winter if you dig deep with your roots. Thank you so much. Go on over to ComeChangeYourLife.com. You can see more of what Sakoni's doing. You can also check him out at SakoniPrince.com and take advantage of the special offer that he talked about in the group to be a part of his course coming up in 2025. Thank you so much, Sakoni, for blessing us. And let's keep moving forward. We got another blessing in the room, right, Anthony?
100%. And I got to give a shout out. We're all using a platform called StreamYard right now. And what's interesting about StreamYard, that's how this, in the beginning of the pandemic, I ended up diving into StreamYard only because I did a podcast with our good friend, the next speaker, Jeff Markinet Jr. He was the pioneer of using StreamYard. He's a man ahead of his time. He's also an award-winning international Make Every Second Count speaker, transformational speaker, author, brain injury advocate, and the host of Make Every Second Count Live. His life nearly ended at the very young age of 17 while waiting to turn on a green light. After 20 plus years of recovery, I think we met when it was 20 years. So 20 plus years of recovery, which he continues today. He now sees why it's so important to make every second count. He stresses that point to everyone he works with because very few people ever get a second chance at life, and he doesn't want anyone to waste the one that they get. It's time for you to stop wasting time and learn how to make every second count with our next speaker, the legend, Jeff Martinet Jr.
Woo! What is up, guys? Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here. I'm so honored to share with you today, and it's just going to be amazing. So, I have come up with something, and then I changed it. So, I had to make some notes here to make sure I'm on point. But, so, I wanted to show you guys something. So, clap your hands one time. Do you experience that? That is 1 second. That is how quick your life can change. You see, when I was 17 years old, I spent 2.5 months in a coma and 3.5 in the hospital after a severe car accident. I was sitting at a red light waiting to turn left when a semi decided to run the red light. He T-boned me in the intersection, automatically knocking me unconscious, breaking my neck, breaking my jaw, fracturing 2 ribs, puncturing a lung, and rupturing my spleen. Now, many of those injuries are deadly by themselves, but I had them all at one time. So through my recovery, I realized that I could make every second count. And if I can, you guys can. But I have come up with 3 points to share with you today to help you realize that you should make every second count. So number 1, life is fragile. It's a precious gift that we all need to be thankful of. You know, I wake up each and every morning. First thing I do, I post on my Facebook without checking any notifications or anything. I am so thankful to be given today, and I will make it a great day. You see, I am expressing gratitude for actually waking up because there are so many people that don't get to wake up in the morning, and that is really sad. But I'm also setting an intention on my day. I am saying that my day is going to be great and I'm going to refuse everything else. You see, our happiness is our responsibility, nobody else's except for ours. So, the number 2 one that I want to share with you today is setbacks are not the end. They're only opportunities to grow. You see, I realized that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And then every setback, there is a lesson that we're supposed to learn. A lesson that will help us further on in life. And it's going to help us get past more things that we're going to face. Because let's face it, life is an up and down roller coaster. Hey, it can even spin you for circles and loops, and it gets really, really tough at times. I realize that, and I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but these things will definitely help you out. Now, my 3rd one is gratitude creates happiness. So, I know it's been said, which I say all the time, but it's not the happy people that are grateful. It is the grateful people that are happy. I'll say that again because you might have missed it. It's not the happy people. Wait. Yeah, it's not the happy people that are grateful. It is the grateful people that are happy. Because when you are grateful for things, then you will start to see more things you're grateful for. And it's one big snowball rolling down a hill. You know, you push that snowball and it gathers all kinds of stuff as it gets down that hill. And it's just amazing when you can see all these things that you have in your life that you can be thankful of. So definitely be grateful for things. I know you can set up gratitude journals. You can do all kinds of gratitude practices. And if you're interested in finding more out about gratitude practices, you can definitely search the internet for them. Heck, you can even search Google for them, or you can send me a message and I'll definitely help you out because I love helping people. It is something that is a part of me. So I have a question for you. What will you do to make every second count? I have told you today how fragile life is. I have told you that setbacks are not the end. They are opportunities to grow. I have told you that gratitude creates happiness. So how are you going to use those steps to experience happiness in your own life? How are you going to use those steps to make every second count in your life? I have all kinds of products that say make every second count. And I would love it if you guys would go and check them out. You don't have to buy anything, just check them out. And I promise you will find happiness. It's not a fleeting thing. It's something that you create. And I know you can create it. So I'll go through those 3 points again so you don't miss them. But number one is life is fragile. Treasure every moment you get because it's something to be thankful of. And number two, setbacks are not the end. They're opportunities to grow. So learn from them and move on. Don't let them hold you back. The number three is gratitude creates happiness. So develop a gratitude journal, develop a gratitude practice, and figure out things that you're grateful for because that will create happiness. But I need you guys to do me a favor this week, next week, and for the rest of your life. I need you to make every second count. Why? Because you never know when those seconds are going to run out on your one life. Thank you guys so much. Have a great one.
Yes.
Great job, Jeff.
Powerful words.
That's
Powerful words. Absolutely. Jeff, we always love it when you come out and you let us know to make every second count. And we appreciate you talking about gratitude and taking some very powerful things into 2025. So you guys, you can reach out to Jeff at his website, jeffmarkinetjr.com. What's some of the cool things that you have on the website that you want them to check out?
So, hang on, I gotta figure out how to turn off my alarm. But I don't want it to go. I don't want it to go out.
Make it
You know,
stop.
Anthony, you and I met before B2BY was even doing its thing through Jeff.
Of course, Jeff is the ultimate connector, plain and simple.
Yeah, he never lets
even telling him that right now.
Even with the alarm. So
Done.
I know you've got your t-shirts on there. You've got your 1,500-hour journal that you got on the wall behind you. That's on there. What's some other things you got on there?
So I've got a bunch of tumblers, mugs, bracelets. I've got all kinds of stuff on my website because it's important that people make every second count. And it's also imperative that they make every second count because life is short. You never know, seriously, when your life can change or even end.
Absolutely.
My new favorite quote. by the way,
Go ahead.
from Jeff. I think I might make my Monday daily truth. It's not happy people that are grateful. It's grateful people that are happy. That's my new favorite. So I'm taking that with me next week. Thanks, Jeff.
Yes, you were welcome. Thank you. And
Uh,
so, guys, I want to tell you that Anthony and Terrence are a pivotal thing in my life. So they helped me create the Get Up virtual event that we did in 2020, 2021, 2022. And we had tons and tons of speakers and tons of impact from those events.
Yeah.
So thank you guys.
Thank you, Jeff.
And we thank you. You're continuing to make impact today, and you're continuing to help us all learn how to. Now you're alive, and there was a reason why you were still here. It's to help others thrive as we move into 2025. That's Jeff Markinet Jr. Thank you so much. Happy holidays to you, Jeff. We will see you on the other side. Okay.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
Thanks for
All
joining.
right. Jeff Markinet Jr. Again, reach out to Jeff at jeffmarkinetjr.com. Check out his merchandise. Check out his videos. Bring him in to speak to your organization. As we continue to move on to our rest of our programming, we've got another great speaker from the Double Down Speaking Academy. Anthony, come on, tell us about our next speaker.
Well, I'm going to introduce who's become a very close friend of mine, the next speaker, who also something fascinating about Jay is when I started to develop exactly what I was doing with Double Down Speaking, and him and I had a consult call, and he told me his story, and he said, I don't think I've shared this in decades. Him and I realized that my purpose was greater through him, and we've talked about the power of using one's voice, but realizing his audience is something that I can't speak to the same way. And I think we can think about that on all of the different speakers that spoke earlier. And the ability to breathe life into somebody else's voice is truly what does something that I remember Terrence talking about a few years ago on a live, the ripple effect. You can't create a ripple effect by yourself. Ripple effect takes impacting others' lives. That's the power of being a teacher, an instructor, and a change maker. So our next speaker, Jay, is a dedicated PTSD survivor who has transformed personal adversity into a mission of healing and empowerment with certifications in somatic EMDR, trauma-informed coaching, and personal training. Jay specializes in guiding individuals through recovery and growth amidst the challenges of trauma and post-traumatic stress. His professional and personal experiences fuel his passion for public speaking, where he raises awareness and sheds light on mental health, trauma, resilience, and recovery strategies. Jay's approach combines empathy, expertise, and holistic techniques, empowering others to reclaim their strength and move forward with confidence. And the winner of our first contest in my first personal class of Double Down Strategy, ladies and gentlemen, my buddy, my amigo, don't be offended by the Boston, the Massachusetts accent, Jay DePietro.
I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming.
Leave it to Anthony, right?
Right. Box and talk.
Anthony Russo.
Forget about it.
Anthony, the spaghetti. Anthony, where's the spaghetti? Anyway, nothing. That's
Without further ado, I can't wait for you to be able to share this story and the downs and then the ups. So, Jay, the floor is yours.
Thanks, guys. Hey, I hope you guys are all having a great day. And I'm going to share my story with you. And I'll start out the same way that Royal started out. And I'll say, just, feet on the ground, take a deep breath, let it out, repeat as necessary. Just be present. You know what I mean? Forget about everything else that you've heard. Although we've had some great speakers and some really motivating talks have happened today. So without me further confusing things, a few years ago, I found myself in a situation where I was sitting on a riverbed in the beautiful state of New Hampshire on a very beautiful August day in the middle of nowhere. And I had with me some letters that I had written to people that I cared about, that cared about me. And I had my cell phone and I had a pistol, and I had every intention on that day of, taking my departure from this life. And it had been a long, long journey to get to that point. About 25 years. And as I was about to finalize my time here on this planet, I got a text message from a friend, and it was real simple, and it was really very typical of what John would send me. And it just said, "Hey, what are you doing?" I didn't read it that way. I read it as, "Hey, what are you doing?" And that just sunk into me. And in that moment, it changed my life, and sent me on a different trajectory. Now, you'd ask, what got you there? What got me there is, in the 1990s, I worked as an EMT and a medic, and I worked in Level 1 Trauma Center. And we did a lot of things. I did a lot there. We handled all sorts of trauma, all sorts of illness. And it was a great, great job. And that was my chosen career path until June 17th of 1997, when we had a patient come in, a 30-year-old young man, victim of a gunshot wound to the chest, with no vital signs. It was the middle of the day. He was brought in by paramedics. Paramedics brought him in, and we transferred him from their gurney onto our trauma table. And I was first hands-on, so I took over CPR that had been in progress for a little bit, and I took over chest compressions from that medic. During that process, we had made the decision, or the doc had made the decision, that we were at this last ditch effort and we were going to perform an emergency thoracotomy, which is open heart massage. So as we were about to cut into this young man's chest, I had been thinking that you're really, really familiar to me. You're just so familiar. Where do I know you from? And it was at that moment when they decided to perform that procedure that I realized that this was my younger brother. And in a microsecond, I couldn't even, it's an imperceptible measure of time. My world changed. And the doc looked at me and he said to me, "Are you serious?" I said, "Yeah, this is my brother. It's my little brother." And I couldn't tell you exactly what happened in those minutes immediately after that, but I can tell you that I spent the next 25 years stuck with post-traumatic stress. And I wasn't diagnosed with that until 1998, which was just about a full year later. And I never received any help. Back then, there wasn't a lot of help for it. And so I did the thing that we thought, we get taught as young men, that we were supposed to man up and just, one foot in front of the other, pull your boots up and keep going. And I did that. And that turned into a pretty hectic 2.5 decades with just peaks and valleys, peaks and valleys, peaks and valleys, more valleys than peaks. And it ultimately landed me sitting on a riverbed in New Hampshire with a pistol ready to take my life. After that day at the river, I sought out some therapy, and that therapy ended up being EMDR, which is eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. And I had been to some therapists prior to that. Nothing helped. Talk therapy just didn't help, just made me feel worse, like it does for a lot of people. And I won't discredit it. It works great for many people. Just didn't work for me. didn't work with what I had going on. So the EMDR was almost right away. And I thought, man, this is so amazing. And this could help so many people. I decided to venture out, find a place where I could learn this. I did that, became certified, and I have since changed my life entirely, and sought out ways to help others that may be going through the same thing. It's really, it's been a pretty amazing ride. And one of the things I like to say is that you can change your life by changing your perspective. So you change your perspective, you change your life. I know we talked a little bit about time, and Jeff wonderfully spoke about time earlier. And I'd like to talk about time in a different manner, because I feel like I lost 25 years of my life. I'm 61. I was 34 when that incident happened. And I was, about 58 when I was on that side of that riverbed. And so a friend of mine showed me this trick where you take a tape measure, regular tape measure, and you drag it out to where your age is. And I'm 61. So I take it out to 61. And that's 61. And if I look back down to 0, it's a pretty long way. I ask myself, you can ask yourself, what's my life expectancy? What do I think? Realistically, what do I think I'm going to live to? Am I going to live to 80? Am I going to live to 90? Let's say I'm going to live to 90, right? Let's say I'm fortunate enough to get to 90. Not unheard of. I've had some older folks in my family. So 90. And I take a look from 61 to 90. It's not very far. It's not very far at all. And so time is precious. It's given to us. We don't know how much it is. We don't know how much we get. We don't know how much is left in the tank. And we can't get any more of it. So it's so important to address things as you realize that they come up. The PTSD for me, I realized what was happening. I knew all along what was going on. I just didn't know what to do about it. And, that's the trick, right? Is knowing what to do, or reaching out, finding someone who can help you, guide you, and point you in the direction, or to be of assistance. And it's one of the things that I'm here for. It's one of the things I've dedicated myself to. And, it's a great thing. The somatic EMDR works fantastic. It works in so many ways that and it works for many things. It works not just for post-traumatic stress. It works for anxiety. It works for depression. And they're discovering new things with it all the time. So I just want to thank everyone for having me. If you have any questions or you'd like to reach out, you can reach out on my website. It's unbreakablecoach.com. And there's a lot of information there, and there's some information there that you can download for free. There's some free resources as far as EMDR and fitness training. The whole thing goes hand in hand. Fitness, mind, body, spirit, it's all connected. So healthy body, healthy mind, healthy soul.
Good job, Jay. We have it spelled. It's Unbreakable Coach is correct. That's where to find you. It's Jay DePietro instead of. I like DePietro though. I like the way that.
That's all. That's pretty. Something. That's not the first time I've seen somebody do that. But that's okay.
That's what I do. I elevate you. You weren't just speaking. You were preaching to us, and there are comments that actually want more information. They want more preaching from you, Jay. They want to know more about that EMDR. It saved Royal Kai's life as well. And Wake Up with Marcy. She wants to get some more information about it as well. So we definitely need to we're going to correct the name while you're talking some more with Anthony so that they can get to the right link.
Okay.
As well.
Yeah, you can reach out to me on my website. It's fine. Anybody, anyone. My phone number's on there too as well. So you could text me or whatever. It's all good.
If you can't tell, what's great about Jay is he's very easy and fun to talk to. He's also hilarious. He gave obviously a very serious story there, but he has the ability of going in a bunch of different directions. Carolyn actually just came in the comments. She gave a hand clap. Carolyn, who introduced me to Jay, forever blessed to get to know both of them. So thank you on that. And I got to give my pitch because you did such a great job. If you want to join my speaking class, go to doubledownspeaking.com. Like my good friend Jay did, and we work on crafting your story. And I remember the moment of genius you had, the light bulb moment on how to truly tell your story. And it took a couple weeks of the class for us to realize you have to start not with your brother and not with what you do, but with you at that breaking point and on the riverbed, and realizing that this is the moment that you can go all the way back and change your life. And I realized that a lot of my target avatars that are part of my speaking class are people that want to save people the time and struggle that they took. And like Jay talked about, those 25 years, that's the key of Jay's story. Save time by actually working on it now, not let it fester, not let it sit, but work on it now.
Man, if I can say one thing, I would say that before I came on and I was watching Jeff, and Jeff was talking about time, I was getting choked up. And it really hit me right in the heart. So it's important. Don't lose that time.
Don't lose
Absolutely. So Jay, when we talk about our courses, it's us talking, but we love to get testimonials from people who have gone through the courses. So what was it about working with Anthony that made you this great speaker that just was before us today?
So the really interesting part of that was that it was really a healing moment for me as well. I had not ever, so 25 years, I had never really told that story. And I only gave you guys a bit of it, right? There's so much more there. And I truly believe that Anthony was the first person in our intake call that I had actually really opened up about that and talked to. And there was a connection there. And I thought, wow, there really is something there. And I personally need to learn how to tell this story for myself. Because if I can't tell this story myself, then I'll never be able to help someone else through it. So, I mean, there was that connection, and Anthony's all right.
He's not from Boston, but
he's all right. I mean,
we still like him. We keep him around. Yeah,
he's a good guy, and I consider him to be a really great friend. So,
well, we are so glad that you took the first step and you allowed him to work with you, and so that we were able to see and hear this phenomenal story. It's something that's going to, if there's anyone who's watching that was stagnant or dead on the inside, after listening to you, they are alive and ready to thrive in 2025. So we hope to hear more from you. You are welcome back to the BTBY stage. You're part of the family now. So welcome. And let's find more opportunities to collaborate and share the message of EMDR across the masses. Okay, Jay?
Absolutely.
Great job, buddy.
Thank you so much.
Happy holidays to you. All right.
Thanks for coming.
Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate, make it happy.
Absolutely. And you can reach out to Jay. Go to his website, unbreakablecoach.com. This was Jay DePietro. Thank you, sir.
Jay DePietro, forget about it. Good job, Jay.
Forget about it.
Man,
Anthony,
talking about both of our classes real quick and the power of speaking, and everybody has a different story to tell. And it's like, we have either 10 to 20 minutes is where people are giving their stories here and the impact that you can make. And the key, some people are giving a lot of tips and tricks, which you should be writing down and taking with you. There's different techniques of just letting people tell a story and feeling what that moment is and giving a little bit of hope. And there's so many different things you could do with your voice. And I think we've seen that today, all the way from Jeff and Jay kind of giving their talk all the way back to in the very beginning, learning about how to work on our finances today. So I think it's very key to realize there's multiple different ways, I'm going to say it, to skin a cat. You can, when it comes to speaking. So just know that your story matters, and sharing that impact with people matters. And then, of course, trying to give away takeaways. It's a perfect way to spend a Saturday morning, and also just a conversation with your friends at brunch. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Every story is not for every tribe. The key is to find where your tribe is for your story. And that's how that only happens by taking that first step, like Royal Kai said, and like Jeff said, and like many of our other speakers said, taking that first step to telling your story so that you can help other people thrive in 2025 and beyond. All right. So we are coming to the end of the road, but this is not the end of the experience. We have another speaker in the house that is a powerhouse. You know, when I met this guy with Brenda introduced him to me over the summer. I was like, this man is a powerhouse. This man goes, when I say all gas, no brakes, I don't think there's a brake in his car. He just keeps moving and moving with that encouragement. And he has a phrase that I want you guys to just hear from me, but I know you're going to hear it from him about 4 or 5 times. He says, and he believes in the soul that we can, we will, and just watch us. Those are the impactful words that this thought leader, this executive business and high performance lifestyle coach by the name of Carmelo G. Garcia lives by. It's his mantra that's taken him from the kids in the public housing projects of Hoboken, New Jersey, serving at the helm of community and economic development in some of New Jersey's largest and most dynamic urban and challenging urban cities. He is the president of I Am 4CG LLC, and his focus has been to help bring executives, entrepreneurs, and elected leaders, along with millions, to their purpose. And if you stick and stay and find a way to get that information from him, then you too are going to be able to be impactful in your life. Before I bring him up, I want to make sure he's not having any technical difficulties in the background. There he is. Let's welcome to the stage Coach Carmelo Garcia. Unmute yourself, Carmelo.
There we go.
Can you hear us? He can at some point unmute himself. So he can.
He had it for a minute.
If you can hear us.
Hello, folks. Hello, beautiful people. I don't know if it was the connection. I kept texting Terrence over there, but I can't really hear you guys. I was hearing Anthony perfectly, and then all of a sudden it just went out.
You're good. Go for it.
Can you guys hear me?
Go for it. You've got the stage.
Hello, guys. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Can go ahead. You've got the stage, Carmelo.
Yeah, my brother, you're coming in slow motion.
Just go ahead. Go ahead. You
Coach
got
Terrence, should I just sign back in through StreamYard, or because I can't hear, brother?
You've got the stage, so if you can hear me and I'm on a different system, maybe you can hear me. Go ahead. You are up. It is your time to shine.
Let me sign right back in, brother.
Technical difficulties, man. Technology is great, but
Oh,
only
Lord
when it works.
Jesus. This is where we rely on you.
Absolutely. So here, let's
Hello.
do this. Let's do this. We're going to take him down, and then we'll run a commercial. I'll reach out to him, make sure we got it going, and we'll be right back.
right. All right. There's my sister Brenda.
How are you?
Outstanding, blessed. Just dealing with, the technological enemy is always at work, but we got this and we prevail.
All right. Well, you've got the stage, Carmelo. Take it away.
Awesome. Well, welcome everyone. Are you alive? BTBY, we are alive and ready to thrive in 2025. I'm just so excited and blessed to be with you. Thanking God for this opportunity and for all the amazing and emotional, informational, inspirational stories that have been shared. My God, man, give a big round of applause to all of them. Wow, amazing coaches, authors, speakers, and influencers on here. So I'm just grateful to bring you my story. And the question that I will pose is, what story are you writing? So I know the story that I'm writing, and it begins with someone who, by the way, Carmelo is Vineyard and a recovering politician. Yet here I am, and I'm thanking God for a second chance to be able to add value and to serve others through what I do as a high-performance executive and business coach, also discipling others and creating servant leaders to transform this world and make it a better place. So my story goes back to becoming a state legislator. My story is one that in its journey, I always wanted to make a difference. I had the ideology of using a platform, a vehicle to make a difference. And I always wanted to represent people because I wanted to be the voice for the voiceless. And as God would have it, I thought that being a servant in public service was the right way to go. But sometimes in life, or all the times in life, you have to have that fall to answer his call. So as I was a great steward in legislation, in representing people, being elected by 365,000 people to represent in the great state of New Jersey as a state assemblyman, but having a amazing journey to get there, one that goes back to growing up in the projects. Being a kid from the projects where by the age of 10, our landlord was burning us out of our homes to make way for the gentrification. That was a time where we had to jump out of a third-story apartment window at 2:30 in the morning with dark smoke and fire just literally nipping at our heels, and we had to take a leap of faith, and thank God that we survived. That led us into homelessness, and unfortunately, that year was a very tumultuous one as a young man. It developed this sense of rebelliousness because then my dad turned to drugs, and then I lost him to incarceration and drugs because he could no longer sustain the family. And so that led me to wanting to just be about me, right? As an overcomer, overachiever, and just focus on doing what I had to do to hustle, to strive and thrive in the real world of just fighting the fight as a fighter, to overcome, the poverty, to overcome the hardship, to overcome everything that I had faced in losing my family, and then having to be on my own and becoming a teenage dad by the age of 19, becoming a dad. But yet there was a dream. Yet there was a calling, and I knew God kept saying to me, "You're special." There's something that I knew I had that he had anointed me for. So I went to the first one of my family to go to college, go to Seton Hall University. And then I was like hungry for more academia pedigree. So I went and got 3 graduate degrees. My dream was to become the executive director of the very same place that I grew up in, the projects. And I was able to uniquely achieve that dream. And every time someone said to me, "You can't do this or you can't do that," I said to them, "I can, I will, watch me." When they said you can't be the executive director of the very same projects you grew up in, I said, "I can, I will, watch me." When they said you can't get to Harvard University, I said, "I can, I will, watch me." And so today I am here to share with you that anything is possible, as you heard from other speakers, but it's all about your PD, that personal development, the investment you're making in you. And every time someone said to me, "You can't become a school board president and represent your district," I said, "I can, I will, watch me." "You can't become a deputy mayor and the director of economic and housing development for the largest city in the state of New Jersey," I said, "I can, I will, watch me." And when they said, "You can't become a legislator, Carmelo," I said, "I can, I will, watch me." And all those things were achieved, great milestones, but none of it was more meaningful than what I am doing today in helping others achieve transformation, helping others become servant leaders. And it all begins with that CD. No, not that certificate of deposit for your money, that investment in you, that consistency and discipline that is required to become your best self. How do you become the leader amongst leaders? We've heard from so many awesome leaders, but how do you become the leader amongst leaders and stand out, stand in the gap? And it begins, of course, by overcoming self-doubt, fear, and self-confidence. And how do we do that? We're going to talk about that, Coach Terrence. We're going to go through a blueprint, 5 precepts that I want you guys to adopt. And I promise you, if you make it a lifestyle, it is something that is game-changing and that will propel you and take you to the next level. So here we are, ready to get going, ready to make it happen, be alive. And how do you win? WIN. What's important now? I was gifted with acronyms, being able to teach in acronyms because I suffered from ADHD, and God blessed me with the ability to teach in acronyms. So how do you win? WIN. What's important now? And that's what BTBY is bringing to you, and all of these greats are bringing to you so that you can implement it. If you're stuck, if you're ignoring what you know you have to do for yourself, if you're tired, if you know you need that change, well, this is what it's all about, personal development. How do you take that leap? How do you get unstuck? And so we're going to walk you through 5 precepts. Coach Terrence, Sister Brenda, and Anthony, you were amazing, man. Shout out to you, brother, and all the great speakers that came before us. So here we go. What's your ESP? How's your ESP? And you might say, Coach T, what do you mean? How's your emotional intelligence? How's your spiritual intelligence? How's your physical well-being? All of these are critical components to your success factor. In order for you to become the leader amongst leaders, you have to understand one key thing, that if you're not paying attention to the things that have your attention, you're going to lose. And you got to accept failure as a part of this process. You have to accept failure as a part of your success formula. But how do we move you from success to significance? That's the key. And that's what God has given me in these gifts to share with you in this blueprint that's going to make a transformative change in your life if you just take that leap of faith, right? Because fear and self-doubt is going to come in and it's going to try to pummel you. It's going to try to hold you down. There's an enemy. There's an adversary. It's going to work against you. But one great proverb from the great King Solomon, right? Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not to your own understanding. Acknowledge him in all your ways, and he will straighten your paths. I mean, that's true no matter where you go, no matter what faith you bring, right? It's true across every faith universally. So that's what I'm here to share with you. As a high performance coach, my goal is to get you to be high performers, to get you to believe in yourself, to have that confidence, to put God first in all that you do, no matter where you are, what walk of life. I can only tell you about my relationship with the ultimate leader, and that is Jesus Christ for me. But when you think about it and you put it in perspective, all the leadership principles stem from where? One great book. And so here I am to share that with you, to bring breakthrough for you, to add value so that you can make the investment in yourself. Because if you don't begin within you, and if you don't trust like organizations like BTBY and others, and I'm telling you, I've been certified licensed. John Maxwell was my mentor. Brenda Bouchard, HPX Academy, original member of the Tony Robbins, Inner Circle Foundation, right? So I've been there, right? I've had the opportunity to connect with Dr. Wayne Dyer, may he rest in peace, and Dr. Stephen Covey. These are all guys that throughout my years, while I was in politics and government, I was focused on though personal development. Everything that I did was about how do I become the best leader amongst leaders? How do I become my best version? That 2.0, that's what we're aspiring to, guys. So here are your 5 non-negotiable precepts that I want you to put into practice. This is all about your CD, consistency and discipline, right? This is about personal development, investing in yourself. Number 1, awareness. If you're not aware of what you're ignoring, if you're not aware of where you need to improve, you're not going to be able to close that gap. Number 2, agreement. We have to have an agreement that I am going to hold you accountable, that the person is who you're assigning as your coach, mentor, the organization that you're a part of, that you have an agreement that whatever you sign on to, you're going to commit to, you're going to honor, you're going to deliver on that. Again, Awareness first. Being aware of what areas do I need to improve. Being aware of what I'm ignoring. You have to ask yourself tough questions. You got to self-examine yourself. You have to put that mirror in your face and you have to challenge yourself. And you have to assign someone as your accountability partner to challenge you and tell you the truth. Even when you know it hurts, even when you don't want to hear it, you need that accountability. And the attitude, that 1% is what happens, 99% is how you react to it. Attitude is everything. So no matter what's going on in your life, right? No matter what adversity you're facing, no matter what it is that you're trying to overcome, you're wrestling with, you're struggling, guess what? Embrace it. Love it. Because the badge of honor, because it's part of your story. It's part of your testimonial. It becomes who you are growing and aspiring to become, the best version of you. And then you have to take the actions. That is CAN. CAN is clearly actionable, needed steps. That's why we say, I can, I will, watch me. CAN is your ability. Will is your mindset. And that's what we want for you. And we want to watch you. We want to watch every single one of you on this call. Every single one of you, we want to watch you take that action to be actionable, to get it done, because the Lord knows, God knows that you are needed. You are an ambassador. You bring a light. You bring a joy. You bring a love. You bring a passion that is undeniable and unstoppable, but you have to invest in yourself. And so I leave you with some more great gems, Coach G gems that are important. You know, one of the first scriptures that was tattooed to my heart was Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans that I have for you, says the Lord, the plans to prosper you and not hurt you, the plans to give you hope and a brighter future. So when you defer to his plans and you realize that you have no real control, the only thing you control is your DEA, because we don't control even our DNA. You control your DEA, your discipline, your energy, and your attitude. That's what you control, my beautiful brothers and sisters. That's what it's all about. And as we say, right, in Romans 8:28, all things work together for the greater good of those who love him and are called to serve his purpose. This is about second chances. This is about right now, your time. Don't be a someday person. Don't be a one-day person. Be today. That's what we're asking of you. Be today so that you can strive and thrive in 2025, because we know you're alive. If you're on here, we know that you were meant to be here. And whoever else this resonates with, that you can share it with, let's make a difference in this mighty way, giving people second chances. So, Coach Terrence, not sure if you want to jump in with any questions, my brother, but I can keep flowing.
Oh, we know you can keep flowing and you can keep going, and you are sending the message of being alive. If anybody was dead before you jumped on, their blood is just overflowing right now. So we thank you. We thank you for that message. We thank you for your time. We thank you for what you're doing. Real quickly, Coach, somebody's going to want to reach out to you after this powerful message today. How can they do that?
I feel like his audio doesn't work very well. We'll just do that. I'm sure you could just look on Google. You'll find him on Instagram.
Yes.
Go on Instagram. Find him on Instagram. How's that, Brendan?
Yes,
you know where to find him?
Absolutely.
I think his social media is pretty much everywhere. Instagram, Facebook.
Yes.
Reach out to me. I'll send you to him.
Right. IAM4G.com. I believe that's what it is. We'll make sure we get it in the room. You know, sometimes it's, no matter how powerful a speaker you are, again, if technology wears you down or brings you down, then that makes a difference. But we appreciate the message.
You don't need super good Wi-Fi to make an impact. You come in, you talk, you go back and forth, and you get things squared away. That's how you do
right,
it.
Right. That's the Jersey way, you know. Yeah.
The Jersey side, you know, he's from Hoboken. My dad and I there's a place called Biggie's. It's a clam house. That's what I was going to ask him about. I make you a bet that would have cut through the Wi-Fi. If I would have said Biggie's, he'd have been like, all right, I know what you're talking about.
Well, yeah. Okay. So anywho, I think we should just keep it moving forward. And this has been great.
But you know, Anthony, I got a bone to pick with you.
You want to? Hey, Brendan, you got a bone to pick with me? Let's hear it. I can't.
Hoboken and the bone. Okay.
I'm gonna be stuck in this accent for the rest of the friggin' day. Go ahead.
I don't know if it's the Boston one or the Jersey one. Which one are you going to give us now?
My dad was Jersey, so I can do Jersey all day. Boston, I can only do it right after I talk to Jay, or what. Besides that, I could do a Jersey accent all freaking day. Go ahead.
You
Okay,
missed
go
our
ahead with
Kansas
that
City
boom.
event.
I know.
You missed it. You're going to
I
be at the
know.
next one, though, right?
Correct. What's the dates on that? It's in my
We're
calendar. I
thinking
know that.
September, the week of September 10th. We're still working on it.
Correct. Unless I already have the days booked up until the weekend. As everybody knows, I work for college football for Fox Big Noon Kickoff, so I'll be gone on Friday and Saturday. But I believe it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Correct.
That's what we're shooting for.
So,
Just for you.
Just for me. Just for me.
Just for you.
I will be there. Yes. Barring a 1% chance of something, but I'll tell you about that later. I'm working with something with Fox. I highly doubt that it will be an issue. It might just add a half a day, but we'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
Okay. And then off the air, you and I got to talk about something that you made a comment on 3 years ago.
Oof.
Yeah, I already know what you're doing, and that's still going to be in the wheels. It's a whole
You're just
different day.
moving very slow.
I'm very focused on this and positivity and creating change, and I think that it's important. I have rules, and we'll leave that at that. But I know where you're going with that one, and the answer is #not yet.
Okay. We won't give it away.
It's an if or a when. Yes. I don't know which one it is. Can I give my final thought on how important it is to tell a story? Would you mind if I take the floor for about 2.5 minutes?
Take it away, brother. Take it away.
Absolutely.
So we've had a bunch of speakers today, obviously share their story, share their impact, share what they're trying to give to you in order to create a change in your life and to be alive in 2025 and thrive, of course. And one of the biggest things I could stress for you, and it's not about my class or Terrence's class and Brenda's class, it's just about the idea of utilizing your voice. Put yourself in the right position. And what inspired me to get deeper into this, because if you follow the journey with me, I've talked about overcoming failure for a long time, and I know that I can help people with that. And I think that's an important topic that we should all understand. But ultimately, part of overcoming failure is also the self-realization that we matter, our voice matters. And I harken back to a story when I was very young that I just started to remember a little bit more of. I was about 4 or 5 years old, and I was in a hallway between my mother and my father. And I grew up in a household, like many of us do, that was imperfect. My dad never hit my mom, but there was constant arguments and there was a constant tension in the house. And this was one of the many fights that they had, but this one escalated. And I guess it was the first time my father was actually about to potentially hit my mother. And at the age of 4, even though my dad had multiple sclerosis and he was legally blind, I still was a 4 or 5-year-old. I'm not going to be able to physically do anything to my father, but I stood there. I stood in between them and I said, "Don't you dare hit my mother," as a 5-year-old boy. And it completely brought the temperature down in the room. It brought the fight down. And of course, he didn't hit my mom, and he never hit my mom, actually. And later on, there's moments I use my voice to step up to my father. But what I realized in that moment is that if you can use your voice in any circumstance, specifically then it was to stand up to bullies. It was to stop the bully from doing something that I believed in. And it wasn't about me having the physical ability to stop it. It had me with the courage and the know-how to put my voice in between two situations. And if you could stand up to bullies, that means you can also change the world around you in so many different ways. You can change your circumstance. You can actually create change in your life that makes you get a better job, that makes you have a better life, that makes you have better relationships. So it is all about the communication skills that you have. Because in 2024, 2025, you can't just go grab a baseball bat or a tire iron or punch somebody in the face. You have to learn how to use your words and use your courage. So I can't stress enough the power to actually embrace what God gave you, and that is a voice to speak up for yourself, a voice to speak up for others, and a voice to change the world. And that's what Brenda and Terrence are doing with their speaking and what they're doing with Becoming the Better You, and what I truly believe in, which is to improve the things that come out of your mouth so that you can say things with your chest, say things with pride, say things with courage, and actually change the world around you. That's my piece for you guys. So I hopefully that put a decent bow on it from my end. And thank you to all the speakers. Thanks for Terrence and Brenda.
Great job,
for putting this all
everybody.
together. And just
Yeah.
learn that you have more power than you could possibly imagine. In the words of Marianne Williamson, oh, I'm drawing a blank on it. In the words of Marianne Williamson, what is it called? We underestimate. Ultimately, we underestimate the own power that we have with our own voice. That's where we sell ourselves. We're afraid. Can somebody pull it up while I'm doing this? I think that'd be a great way.
Save him.
Save me, Marianne Williamson. Marianne, I'm going to do it because it's a great way to end.
Well,
You guys keep talking. I'll come back to it.
Yeah. So, you know what? I want to piggyback on that because, you know, we don't want you guys to leave here thinking that we were just talking about becoming a better speaker. You know, we have a class, Becoming a Better Speaker. Anthony has a class, Double Down Speaking, but there's power in you. That's why the last part of BTBY is you. It's not becoming the better Brenda. It's not becoming the better Terrence. It's not even becoming the better Anthony. It's becoming the better you. Here's the facts. You are here. You are alive. Those are the facts. Now, here may be the story. You may be struggling. You may be striving, trying to survive. You may be trying to make ends meet, but are you at that point where you are ready to thrive, where you're ready to make a difference, not only in your life, but in the lives of the people that are watching you? Because trust and believe, you never know who's watching, but somebody is always watching. They're watching to see how you survive, how you come alive, and how you thrive so that they can come alive and thrive themselves. You know, you're leaving seeds, you're leaving clues. You are what Saucony are talking about, that tree that continues to grow even in the winter. And that's why it's important not only for you to just use your voice, but to use every God-given gift that he gave you. And we're here to help you. We're here to help you develop that personal and professional development. We're here to help you develop that health and wellness so that you can be healthy and wealthy. We're here to help you so that you can see that service is just as helpful and important to this world as helping you get your finances in order and helping you become a better professional development or even a better speaker. Whatever it is that you have just been struggling to become a better part of your life, then we want you to take this first step today with whatever you got from any of these speakers that resonated with you today. Take that first step and start thriving as you move into 2025. And know that you don't have to do it by yourself. The family here at BTBY, Becoming the Better You, our service to you is to help you become a better version of yourself. So go on over to comechangeyourlife.com. Look at everything that we have to offer. Look at the upcoming things we've got happening. Look at the collaborations that we are forming to help not us, but you. Because again, the most important word in our organization is becoming the better you. And we'll turn it over to our visionary to close us out.
Actually, Anthony has a quote to read.
Well, yeah, I found it too, but thank you to No Limit Living. I was like, this is a quote that I say all the time, and it was like, bink. Our deepest fear is that we are not inadequate, but we are powerful beyond measure. So I'll say it again, our deepest fear, and this is like what Terrence just said, and like what I said with the voice, and what we could do in 2025. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Remember that.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Well said.
That's right.
All right, Brenda, close us out.
Well, man, that sounds like I'm supposed to do a closing prayer or something.
Hey.
Not that I'm opposed.
I know I need prayer.
It is that time of the year, but everybody, thank you for joining us. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Terrence. It takes a lot of time out of our days to do these, but it's important to share your voice. It's important for people to hear stories. Anybody that is struggling with loneliness this time of year, go back and replay what Jay just said. It was attempted suicide, and he overcame. There's people that are here to help you. I know the holidays are tough, but they can also be beautiful. Sometimes there's beauty in the mess. I just want everybody to remember that. Thank you all for watching. Go check us out. Go see what's coming up next. Everybody have a happy holiday. Peace out.
Hey, on behalf of Brenda Ringwood, Anthony Russo, I'm Terrence, the Unstoppable Coach Leffridge. You know what I say, wherever you are in the world today, don't just make it a great day, but become the best version of yourself and make it an unstoppable day. We'll see you guys in 2025. Take care.
See you later.